So the first step in my meal planning routine is to take a look at what I've already got. So I pull things out of the freezer, mark them down on my inventory sheet, and then also take a look in the fridge and the pantry and the can cupboard. So next I'm just going to take a look at those inventory sheets and mark off what I'm going to be using for this week. I'm getting started a little late in the month, so I'm marking off what's being used, and then I can kind of plan what I've got left for the rest of the month. I usually plan my meals week to week, but this month I'm taking a little bit of a broader approach to plan for the entire month. It'll make it easier around the holidays. Normally I use an app called eMeals that gives you recipes, creates a shopping list, and sends that list directly to your pickup vendor like Walmart or Instacart. But the weather's getting bad and I'm not going to be able to travel as far for my pickups, so I'm going old school and using my cookbooks and writing down all of the different recipes that I'll be using. This blue binder has tons of recipes that I've printed off of websites. They're family favorite recipes that we absolutely love. Next, I take a hard look at all of the recipes that I have chosen for the week and write down a grocery list of what I need from the grocery store in order to make those recipes. I try to create a little bit of variety in the menus, fish, chicken, pork, beef. We have a meatless Monday here and there, and Taco Tuesdays. So I just try to keep it interesting and different so that we have a variety of meals, and I love to cook, so I like to try new recipes. The sheets that I'm using for my planning come from familyfreshmeals.com if you'd like to get a set for yourself. Hello, welcome back. My name is Judith. I am one half of the Nutty Nitty Sisters. Together with my sister Julie, we create videos sharing our love of all things fibery and occasionally go on yarny adventures when the weather in Maine permits it. If this is the first time that you have watched one of our videos or joined us, welcome. We definitely appreciate you clicking on the video. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching us again and again. We definitely appreciate you as well. This is Vlogmas, and we are on day 7 of Vlogmas. And yeah, it's been a crazy 7 days. I can't believe it's been only 7 days, but I also can't believe it's 7 days. So let's get started first with our mug. So the mug that you saw, oh, I don't have it with me. I grabbed a different mug. I don't have it with me. I had hot cocoa in it and I put it in the dishwasher, but in the opening credits, which I will insert a little clip here, there was the owl mug. The owl mug originally was Kayla's mug. My oldest daughter, Kayla, loves owls, and it was her mug, but it was a large mug like this, and I do love a nice big cup of coffee. And so I continue to use it over and over again, and now it just lives in the cupboard and I use it frequently. But I went back to this one because again, I had hot cocoa in the other one, so it was, you know, had a lot of stuff in it, and I'm now drinking tea. So yeah, I just grabbed a new mug. I was doing the evening dishes and just didn't even notice that I threw the other mug in the wash. So that's mugs, hugs. No new subscribers today, but I did want to say thank you to Sue Emmons. Sue comments on many of our videos. She is very upbeat and encouraging and sweet in her comments. Although we don't always reply to comments, sometimes I just don't know what to say. But I always give a heart when I have read your comments, and that they have warmed my heart. So thank you, Sue, for interacting and always being present during Vlogmas and all of our videos all year round. I appreciate it. I also wanted to give some hugs to some fairly new podcasts that I have found. Penrose Knits, Laura from Penrose Knits. I watched her last Vlogmas, and there was also a, I think she did like a decluttering or de-stash of her yarn stash, something like that, organization of her yarn stash, which I found really, really interesting, helpful. She had a lot of good tips on kind of how she approached that, which I really enjoyed. I love her videos. She's so real and so honest and so refreshing. And her vlog from, I think it was day 6, she talked about how, you know, Vlogmas is just a glimpse into the life. It's not all of, it's a highlight of life in a vlogger's life, but it's not, you know, it's not reality. It's not everything. It's highlights. It's just little snippets of that person's life. You don't see the carton of milk that is spilled in the kitchen. You don't see the stubbed toes. You don't see, you know, a lot of the things behind the scenes. So I just really appreciated that she kind of reminded us of that, and talked about comparison, which I am very guilty of myself. You know, I see other vloggers with these beautiful, immaculate, amazing homes, and, you know, wonderful backgrounds, and the photography is just so amazing. And I'm just, you know, a housewife in Maine who likes to talk about her knitting, and it's easy to fall in that comparison trap. So thank you, Laura, for reminding us that we don't have to compare. I am where I am supposed to be in my life, and it is perfect in my world. So thank you. Another vlogger was Nap Time Knitting Podcast, Allison. I just found her today, and what a lovely podcast. And she is also knitting on the Quest shawl that I am knitting on for Advent. So it was really neat to find someone who's also doing the same pattern and doing the same thing that I am this Advent. So that was really cool, and I'm enjoying watching her podcast as well. So hello, Allison. So that is it for hugs. Advents. So the Advent color for today from a Yarn to Die For design, Polar Express Advent was I'm the Conductor. And it definitely looks like the Conductor. It's just so perfect. I was sharing with my granddaughter because our very first movie for our movie list, our Advent movie list, was The Polar Express. So I was sharing with my granddaughter, who is 5, sharing with almost 6, was sharing with her all the colors and explaining to her how it was. Once Upon a Time is the blue. The yellow is He Boards the Train. The purple is Best Friend. The red is Annoying Know-It-All. This brown is Billy the Lonely Boy. And then this is Whipped Cream with Sprinkles. And then, of course, I'm the Conductor. And her eyes, you could just see her eyes spark when she realized what they represented and how wonderfully matched they were to what they represent. So that was really cool. I'm so glad we watched The Polar Express as a new movie. It was a happy accident, but I love it. Julie's Advent. I forgot to talk about her stitch markers that she's given me. I now have 3 of these cute little bottles of stitch markers from Julie. And it is so funny because if you watch our last episode together, I talked about these little bottles and how I saw them from another stitch marker maker. And I really liked them, and I found that you could buy a pack of 5 of these little jars at the Dollar Tree. And I was really thrilled, and I bought myself a whole bunch of them to keep like little sets of markers, stitch markers that go together. So it was so funny that she had already actually purchased these for the Advent. She mentioned that in one of her vlogs. So they're just perfect. But this was the first one I got from her. And there is an exact number of stitch markers in here that I need for my wrap when I'm doing my lace section. So kismet. And then the second set that I got was this one, which is so cute. If you haven't seen or haven't heard from a previous episode, we lost our dog Brady in June. He was our chocolate lab, and we've had him, gosh, for 13 years. I think he was 15 years old, and he was just the light of my life. He was my absolute best friend on the planet, and we had to make the decision to let him go on my birthday, and we said goodbye the day after my birthday. So it was really heartbreaking. And one of the stitch markers was a dog paw. So it was just so perfect. And then in with that dog paw was also, which I thought was really neat, 2 of these lobster claws. There's a little tiny mini lobster claw and then a larger lobster claw. And then today in her package, I got stitch markers. And I know I showed these when I opened the Advent, but I have to talk about them because they're so tiny, it's hard to see them on the camera sometimes. So these, one of them I don't think you're going to be able to see at all. This one, I don't know if you can see that or not. But there is a little tiny mushroom seed inside that stitch marker, which is just, it's so cool. And then this one is so very tiny. I really don't think it's going to show up on camera at all. I doubt it. But it's a dandelion seed with the little fluff and everything. You can barely see it. I had to actually take my phone and take a picture and zoom in to like be able to see it. But I'll see if I can throw a picture in so you can experience it. It's really, really cool. So that's those stitch markers. And her yarns, I fall in love with every color that I see every day, and then they get put back in the boxes, and I feel like I need to do this Advent again when I get ready to knit with it, because they are beautiful yarns, and I think when I kind of get them all out and look at them, I'm going to be amazed at how well they go together. She has curated just the most beautiful Advent. So thank you, sis. So that's Advent knitting. I did get a fair amount done today. I did meal planning, which didn't take a whole lot of time, and then some other light household cleaning. So I was able to actually sit and get quite a bit of knitting done. So this was yesterday's color here. And I had 4 brioche rows left, and I finished those, and then I finished the lacy work from yesterday, and I've done 2 rows of brioche for today. And I found myself sleep knitting and dropping stitches all over the living room. So I decided to come in and record my the end of the day remarks and call it a day. And so I'll try to get caught back up a little bit more over the weekend. So even though I haven't completed my Advent knitting for today, I do want to go ahead and roll for the next storyline. So if you haven't watched before, I am knitting The Quest by rhyFlower Knits. And yeah, it's like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of knit. Each day you knit a little bit of the shawl or wrap or scarf, and then you have a little story that goes along with it. You read the story, and there is a battle or a challenge, and you have to roll dice to determine whether you win or lose. And so far, I have lost 3 and won 3. So let's see what we're going to do today. Okay, so the battle or challenge that I'm up against this time is because I'm a druid, I have to get a number 6 or higher in order for my spell that I'm casting to work. If I lose, the spell does not work, and I have to take a longer break. So what that means is if I lose, I have to go to a certain page of the pattern. If I win, I have to go to another certain page of the pattern. I'm sorry I can't share the storyline with you, but it is a paid-for pattern, and I'm trying to be respectful of the copyrights of the designer and storyteller. But I'm also trying to give you a little bit so that you can kind of come along the journey with me. So let's roll and see if I get a 6 or better. And I rolled a 12. So my spell works. So I get to go to a certain page of the pattern and knit that section of the pattern. The patterns are really fun and easily, they're usually 10 stitch repeats, so they're easy to memorize. They're charted and written, so no matter which your preference is. Yeah, I'm really enjoying knitting it. A little tea, and on we go. So today was my meal planning day, and I shared with you my process for doing my meal plan. I didn't always do it that way. This is the first month I'm trying to roughly estimate what the meal plan will be for the month, and then just really get down to the actual recipes and things for meal planning, and for the week that I'm going to be doing the grocery shopping. So that was today. I hope you enjoyed that. It was a very rainy, very, very rainy day. It's pouring rain right now. I don't know if you can hear it. Probably not. But it is pouring down rain. It has been pouring down rain all day, and quite cold. So I've not left the house. I've stayed right indoors. But it was also a very busy day at work, so it was nice to have kind of a low-key day. I did a little light cleaning, some reorganizing under the kitchen sink, which desperately needed to be done, and did a little knitting. Watched Kayla play some of her Zelda game on the Switch. She beat a Guardian, I think it's called. I don't know, but it was awesome. Yeah, so that was today. Um, tomorrow is the day that I make up my grocery order and put that into my local Hannaford to go and pick that up. And the plan is to pick that up potentially, it looks like Saturday night. I'll have to go get Kayla from work, so I will pick up the groceries then. And do a cleaning of the refrigerator. I like to kind of take stock of what's in the refrigerator, get rid of anything that's getting old or produce that's getting soft, that sort of thing. Give it a little wipe down before we go grocery shopping. So that is the plan for tomorrow. I know, exciting. It's a glamorous life that I live. Yeah, so that's the plan tomorrow. Yeah, so I hope it's not too boring for you. As we get closer to the holidays, I'm sure there'll be more things that I'll do. During the week, I work from home. I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. So it's a little mundane, but I hope you're enjoying it. It does look like we are going to have the grandkids this weekend. So I'm hoping that when we have them this weekend, we will be able to do some gingerbread house making or baking. The chocolate chip cookies that I made the other day are almost gone. I made the mistake of testing a few of them, and now Kayla and Michael want a couple of cookies every night. So I'm going to have to make more freezer chocolate chip cookies and hide the dough. So yeah, there'll be a lot more baking episodes in the future, as well as I have found several recipes that I think are going to be very good for filling up the tins. So we might get a couple batches of cookies accomplished this weekend as well. So I think that's everything. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And we will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.